2 days ago we were traveling from the Czech Republic to Switzerland. It was a really intense and long day. We were in total 15 hours on the go. About 11 hours of driving in the car. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy I was able to do it all in one day. Something funny happened to us. It's really embarrassing, but we were stopping at a gas station and Petra went to pee, and then we were going back to the car. She said, let's go. And then
Americans don't say you go to pee. Americans say you go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And then she said that she thought that she will go once more. She took out her backpack from the car and she closed the door, and I was getting in the front of the car, and I was like speaking to her like, okay, let's go. And I started to drive and I just left. Petra was still outside. Apparently she was screaming at me, waving at me. I was the entire time just talking to her in the car. And
it was a highway gas station.
Yeah.
And every gas station could be 25 kilometers, like, which is really, really long time.
Yeah, when you're on the highway and you have to go back, you have to drive all around it through some village.
Could be an hour detour to get back to me.
But I was just still talking to her, and it got a little bit annoying to me that she didn't answer me. I was like, hey, will you answer me? And I turned around because she was sitting behind me, that's why I didn't.
He was mad,
didn't get it. I was mad. I want to give her some bad look. And then she was out there, honey. And I thought, is she in the trunk maybe? No, that's not possible. That's full. I was like, oh no. I left her at the gas station.
Yeah.
And I immediately went out of the highway, the earliest possibility. It was luckily very close, because sometimes really you can drive like 20 minutes to find something. Same time I get a phone call from a random number because she didn't have her phone, and did you forget something? Yeah. That's
why we call this video How to Lose Your Girlfriend
and find her again.
Or in a gas station.
Yeah, but I was lucky that I could go from that gas station or that stop on the highway. I could go directly into the village and drive around it and go back on the highway to pick her up.
Yeah, it was just 1 minute away from each other, where two gas stations. It happened nowhere. I travel all the time in Europe, and two gas stations behind each other are very rare. So we were very lucky, and
I felt really bad. I was like, oh my gosh, that's like in the movies. I remembered the Modern Family when Cam and Mitchell, when they were having Lily very freshly, and they were like, oh yeah, we just went shopping, and then they went into the car and they were super excited and they were leaving and driving away, and after some time they were starting to talk about Lily and they were looking back, Lily? And then you see a scene of her in the shopping cart, there for children, where all the shopping carts are stored, alone, waiting for them.
The mental process in my case was a bit different than in his case. And he was acting very cool when he picked me up. He was saying, oh, it was okay, I was just fine, I knew you will be safe, highly spiritually evolved being. And I was like waving at him when he closed the door. I closed the door of the car when he left, and there were police and ambulance and so on. Something happened and the police just was blocking him. They also wanted to go already to the highway, but they were still blocking him, and he was asking himself.
I was complaining to her, who was not in the car. It's like, so the police is just going aside now so they can then drive behind me and then they want to stop me, or what? So
it was a sign for him, right? But sometimes we just don't see the signs. We can't read them that well.
It's good that I was such a chatterbox, because at some point it really got annoying that she didn't answer.
Yeah. Sometimes you are chatterbox. Yeah. And you get mad when I don't answer. What's wrong with you? Girls, how we have it. When we don't speak, there has to be something wrong with us.
Yeah.
But I was just really sad that he forgot me in a train. It was a very interesting experience for me to be forgotten. Like, I'm a quite big thing, right? I'm not very I'm not small. I'm like a ring, you know. You can just lose your ring or your phone somewhere, but I'm a quite big thing. So I got lost there. I got forgotten, and I immediately went to the gas station, and I tried to figure out what to do. And then I thought that I will ask the ladies who were working there, the staff, and I was like, can I please call from you? Is it possible to have a phone, because there is no phones anymore and anywhere, you know, to pay and call to somewhere. And they were like, what is, like, why do you need a phone? And I'm like, you know, my partner just forgot me in here. And they are like, what? they didn't get that I was forgotten, you know, that I'm a quite big thing, you know, to forget. They said they had a baby forgotten there. Some people forgot baby, but an adult, it was quite new for them. So it was funny, and immediately I wasn't panicking, because I was okay, it will take an hour extra, because he would have to drive really long on a highway until he gets to some turn and so on. So he was driving back quickly, and there was an extra road built for us, probably just to get to that other gas station, which were different brands of gas stations. They were not partners or anything. It was funny, and I was just having immediate offer from a man, really nice man. He said, do you want to get anything? Can I buy you anything? Can I drive you to the next station so you can be with your partner quicker?
A woman in need.
And
any man wants to help.
And I was having this sweatpants and sweatshirt on, and I wasn't very, you know, looking like very fresh. I wasn't looking very fresh. And yeah, it was fun, because immediate help from the universe. You know, they gave me the phone. I called him 3 times, because they were also describing the road to get to me easier. And the man immediately wanted to help me, and plus I could have free lunch and stuff like that. And I'm like, what did you do? Like, you could have just
come a bit later.
Come a bit later. Why didn't you let him drive me to you? I could have lunch and nice chat in a car. And
no, I didn't want her to drive with some stranger, especially with a guy.
Yeah.
If it was like the girls, they say, hey, you know what, just we'll drop you off at the next gas station, no problem. That would be okay. And if you would feel comfortable, but some stranger, no. Yeah,
so he didn't want me to drive with this stranger, which is nice. And we don't recommend it if it is possible, but anyways, the universe always brings help, because it was morning and not a lot of people on a gas station on a highway. So it was very nice that
it's like something out of the ordinary, and people are really helpful and they're with you in these moments. That's really beautiful to see. You can make friends like this as well, you know, you have something to talk about. So yeah, but she's now here. We are now in Switzerland. Yeah. In my hometown.
I'll maybe show you how it looks behind us, what you can hear. Here's a little creek, and behind us is a nice nature. We are in a very modern place, but around us, beyond this modern place, are very old style houses, and we will definitely share that on our video, because they are so cute. They look like from fairy tale. And he grew up here in this little city.
Yeah.
Which is worthy to see. So all our 1,000 subscribers could go here, and they will be crowded on a square in here.
It's already very touristic. Like, people really love to go here. It's a really beautiful place, surrounded by mountains and nature. The air is really clean, and The water tastes amazing from the tap. It's really beautiful to be back here.
And we were checking new stores.
Yeah, they have in Switzerland the two biggest grocery stores are Migros and Coop. And Migros
With the S,
written,
but they don't pronounce this
yeah.
S.
So Migros has a new store here in the village, so we were checking it out. We were mapping the territory. We were there over an hour, I think. We didn't buy much.
We were checking the prices and the style how the food is presented and the style how the food is actually offered to people. Because what we have takeaways from the store, just a quick, because we traveled through Austria, Croatia, Slovenia. We stayed for a month in Austria, Vienna last year in summer, and we traveled also, all over the Europe. And I was in Turkey recently, and here they already figured out in these stores that they don't let a lot of products containing a lot of bad things. They just don't allow it in stores. So basically you go and you can feel kind of safe. You don't have to study. Like I study everything, when I have a product which I put on my hair, on my skin, on my body, into my body, I always read a label. And here I feel a bit better about it. I feel a bit safer because they already have it through some filter. They put these things through filter and they don't allow anybody to use any bad, really truly bad products. So they also have vegan things and so on, but I don't think that is a thing here in this little small village in the mountains.
Where cheese is super important and a lot of farms
and the
have cows.
And goats and so on, where here especially cows are like worshipped here, which is my thing, and because I love cows.
She loves cows.
I love cows.
More than horses, more than anything.
Maybe dogs I love more, but they are some kind of same. Because I just love cows and they love cows here too, and they have them everywhere. And I believe in the past people used to survive because of the cows. Because they got their skin, they got their meat, they got their milk, and they could eat cheese all the time and survive. Because here, when winter comes, it's really heavy, cold winters.
The farmers which go in summer, like it's a custom that in spring and summer the farmers take the cows and the goats and all the animals which they have. They take them from their farm in the village. They take them up to the mountains. To
the mountain hills, so they can just eat.
So the cows and all these animals have the fresh grass from the Alps.
And they just walk. They walk maybe.
They walk along the roads
really
and on the
long
hiking
time.
paths.
It's like really long time. They could walk whole day. 10 hours they walk. Those cows, like a crowd.
And then the farmer is with the cows in his little minimalistic Alp hut, which doesn't have really running water and stuff like that, or electricity, and they live off bread and cheese. That's all they eat every day.
Yeah.
Bread
And milk.
And cheese. And they drink milk. Yeah.
But it's modern
Not
here.
that it's healthy, but that's how they survive. That's how they live.
And it's very modern here as well. They have cars and everything. They are very evolved here. But back to those stores. So number one is that they don't allow into stores anything wrong, anything bad. Also in the morning cereals you don't find any really bad artificial things, because I heard for example in Canada and America they also have different
chemicals and these
different
ingredients.
chemicals and ingredients
it's very strict. Like European Union is strict, but Switzerland has their own rules and they're maybe even more strict with these things.
And these rules are nice. And also we were checking the counters where you have a store and there is like a meat counter, there is
fresh
like
meat.
you can have a schnitzel, like a breaded meat and so on, and so it was so looking like very small offer. You know, there was like few things, but really good quality things like salmon, you know, spieß, which is like a, you know, skewer, and all these things were very, like, they had few pieces there, like maximum 20 pieces of that. Like in my country there is like hundreds,
piles.
you know, like
Piles, like 10 kilo on one pile.
They make sure here that it's properly packed when they serve it to you. We can also show the packaging. And they have really few pieces of the meat.
And everything looks fresh, you know,
everything is
in
fresh.
Czech Republic, in those big supermarkets where they have like 10, 20 kilo pile of meat, you see how it turns brown or blue on the top, the meat, and it's drying out and it looks old and bad and not very appealing. And here they rather have just a handful of pieces, and they have way more in the back, and then when it's sold out, they just take the new and it just stays fresh.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that everywhere in Czech Republic it's rotting meat, you know.
It's not rotting.
Not that, but people are still tricked and programmed into quantity over quality, and they are still not aware, all of them, what can be put into meat to look better, feel better, and last longer. So it's another story. But I'm very impressed, for example, with the size of a chicken, because a chicken in Switzerland is like this big, like a half of a chicken, and in the EU and in Czech Republic, for example, is like this big. Like it's like a
also
little.
Also depends if you get it organic or not organic.
Yeah. But here was non-organic Swiss chicken, and it looks like a bigger pigeon, you know. And if you have it in Czech Republic or sometimes in Austria, but they also are very good with meat. So sometimes it looks like a small duck,
or turkey,
which is like a really big piece of meat, because everybody has to eat and everybody has to eat a lot. So Swiss people are more into quality and eating less, because they realize that it actually doesn't give anything to them if they eat more.
It's important that they're very strict about this, about the quality. If quality is not in the top level, then people will say something about it. And,
So we actually, the prices are crazy here. Like
that's, of course,
that's like Swiss price is like a Swiss price, you know. And it's, you can't do really anything with it. You just go and buy in a store, local store, like you would go to Walmart. You could buy their pajama, which would be 35 Swiss francs, which could be like almost $40, or around $40, like a really regular cotton, 100% cotton pajama, which is like whitish piece of clothing. And but they have it available there. They have also available all kinds of good stuff, which is like, for example, biodegradable, organic, ecological, and also very much supporting these eco-friendly brands very much in the store. You can see all the shampoos and all the cosmetics for women especially. They are trying to push them more, I guess, to the counters. And of course, on the other side, there is like those normal brands like Elsev and Nivea, or how they call it. All these European brands which are containing all those petrolaic components, or petroleum components and stuff. But and also it's nothing wrong with it. I used to use it too.
Me too.
But we are really trying to, because we used to go in a health food store, in a biomarkt, which is like an organic market where you can buy everything organic. And we used to buy these things only in those biomarkts. And now we have like special drug stores here where we could buy it too, in Austria and in Czech Republic, because it's a German company. So they pushed these really good organic products also into these countries, but not into Switzerland. And now we see that brands like Veleda and Lavera and all these So Bio and so on brands are all in regular stores in a supermarket, which is like walking into the organic market in
You don't
Austria.
have to go to a specialty store.
Yeah. So we are very impressed, and we
were today mostly grocery shopping.
and
I
eye
think
shopping.
We like it, yeah. Petra was going crazy with all those creams and so on. She said, I'm so overwhelmed, I have to have a break. I can't.
I'm looking forward when you say that I went normal in the store instead of she went crazy.
When does that happen?
I don't know.
Yeah. So it was also nice to have my favorite things, my favorite goodies that I remember that I
You
missed.
could show them, right? Your favorite goodies.
Shall I?
Yeah. So we have it all for you. So this is Rivella. This is Raphael's favorite. It's with some, it's imagine like Coke or Sprite with milk serum. There's a serum from milk, and it's actually see-through. It looks like
It's like
yellow water.
Yeah.
Yellowish water.
Maybe a bit like lemonade.
Yeah, and he loves it.
Really
and
delicious, and you can't get it anywhere else.
no, only in
So if
Switzerland.
you go to Switzerland, Rivella,
Rivella. Yeah,
this, I'm all about these.
he loves these chips.
I've never had better potato chips in the world than these. They have to be from Zweifel and paprika. They have such delicious seasoning.
Where do you have the open pack so they could see how it looks?
In there.
Okay.
And this I used to have in childhood. This is from Migros. It's like the 6 breads.
It looks like a ring, but he already ate some, and you can just peel a little bread.
Yeah.
Can you hold it? You can peel a little piece of bread and just eat it.
Now I have to eat it.
Smells like a pretzel.
Yeah.
Like the top is like a
Exactly.
pretzel. And it's fluffy and it's tasty and it's salty, not sweet at all. They don't put much sugar in these.
And I put this in it. This is Fleischkäse.
Yeah.
It's also really delicious. Some cold cuts.
And you can also roast it, but
Of course, we have to have some Swiss cheese.
the Swiss cheese has to be, and especially Appenzeller cheese.
Appenzeller cheese.
And they have different kinds of strongness to the to the cheese, because it's not weakness at all. So some cheeses are very strong and only for those people who have already damaged nose with smelling the cheese too much. So yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
This is something I really love. This is now the season for this Magenbrot.
It's like a
I don't know how to explain it. It's sweet,
gingerbread a bit.
maybe,
Could be like a gingerbread.
like this.
Can I taste it?
It's not chocolate.
You can show them inside how it looks. Tastes
Yeah.
a little bit like gingerbread.
Honey,
Yeah.
water,
Very
Sugar.
soft and fluffy gingerbread
some spice mix.
with a good
And this
spice
is now like this Oktoberfest season.
mix. Yeah, and it's a Magenbrot. It's like having a lot of warming spices like cinnamon and cardamom and all these things.
Yeah.
This is really nice. I don't know that one.
This is something I totally forgot about, but I used to love it as a child.
Yeah, it's really beautiful images on it, and everything has different image.
This Honigtirko, they're super crunchy and sweet.
Yeah.
That's also, I used to eat it like in autumn and winter.
They also have a lot of gingerbread here and beautiful decoration of the gingerbread.
Yeah.
And he loves this.
And this is vermicelle.
This is how they serve it, with a little bit of, it's like a block. It's like a block of chestnut
Chestnut puree with sugar.
puree. And they have this special machine, you can say it.
So you put it into that. Here you can see it a little bit.
You can
Into
open
this
it.
container you put it.
And
And then you
squeeze
press it through.
and you make like a spaghetti, and they call it vermicelles.
Yeah, it's a dessert.
Dessert, and they put whipped cream on top. And yeah, it looks like this, or it
These
can be in a
sausages.
block. It looks like a butter.
Yeah.
And this is already prepared for putting it into that plastic spaghetti maker.
Yeah.
Squeezer, yeah.
Yeah, so these are some of my
Maybe
favorites that
when
I
you
was
will be
looking really
making it,
forward.
you can show it to
Yeah.
them. Yeah. And yeah, these and the jumpies, did you bring?
No.
Uh-oh.
Also some other chips which I
So-
really like,
They look like kangaroos. And
but they might be better from Austria.
they are called jumpies, and he's testing because the Swiss are different than jumpies from Austria. So we can also share what we love in Austria, actually, right? Because we have our favorite stores, places where we go all the time, and we always get some nice things where we can't get them anywhere else. So in Austria we have some favorites, and in here in Switzerland we kind of now had to do all Raphael's favorites because of his childhood memories.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those have been waiting for me in the shopping cart until we get here.
yeah.
These things.
Until we get home from the Migros.
Yeah.
So it's good to be, you know, a few years ago we lived here for a while in Switzerland, and they were not having this many good things like compostable sanitary pads, organic ecological detergents in a normal regular stores. Now it's absolutely mind-blowing what we saw. And how
and also
it evolved,
products,
you know.
products which are really popular in the EU, which haven't been in Switzerland really long, that they're also available now in Switzerland, that you don't have to go to a specialty store that imports it, or you don't have to go across the border. Yeah.
And I also used to be very hardcore gluten-free, milk-free person, but now, because I have a Swiss partner, I had to incorporate into my life a little bit of milk products. So I have sometimes butter, and I eat sometimes some cheese, and especially goat's cheese. But here also, when I was comparing products for vegans and vegetarians, and also, for example, I was comparing chocolate mousse, and I compared vegan and milk product made out of cream or made out of some oils. It is much better maybe sometimes to choose the cream, because it's much more innate for our bodies. It's not innate, but natural for our bodies to digest one type of protein and fats made out from animal than digest a few mixture of few oils together, which are not that cool to digest. Every oil has to be broke down differently in the body, and it's very
Sure.
hard to digest these things, plus sugar,
They
plus
just try to make it
artificial.
as original tasting as possible. That's
Yeah.
why they put so much stuff in there.
Yeah, and also the whipping has to be done, and it has to hold together,
Yeah.
and it all is like, I was like, okay, so I used to be hardcore vegetarian, you know, artificial person about these milk products, because I tried to avoid lactose and so on all the time. But now I'm thinking, hey, if I want to have something good once in a while, I might go for the real thing, because there is no gluten. Gluten doesn't make me feel that good, so I picked always the like with the milk, because I realized that it's a little bit better for us to digest it and to enjoy it. And also I realized that if I eat those vegan, all kinds of playing like chocolate mousse, but it's actually
Pretending
fat,
to be.
then I feel less guilty, and then I feel like I can have more and more and more.
But you also
And-
don't feel as satisfied
And
often.
as satisfied. So you want to
Like you
have
have
more
a
and more and
craving
more.
and for specific thing,
Yeah.
and you say, okay, I'll not get the original, I get the alternative one, and then you're like, yeah, okay, it is sort of that, but I'm not satisfied.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to get the original thing.
Yeah. So we can also maybe have a little chat later about Switzerland and how the houses are built and the bunkers which they are all building and how people are behaving in the stores and on a public places. It's very interesting because people are different mentality than anywhere else. They are more polite and they are
we
more
have super polite
reserved
cashier
yeah,
today.
yeah,
So
yeah.
polite.
Very much respectful and very like
It's
yeah,
not
respectful.
everywhere in Switzerland like
No,
this,
no,
but here in this really small village,
Yeah,
people are really personal, and
Yeah.
for me, it's not possible to go to Migros or Coop, to the supermarkets, without seeing people that I know.
Yeah,
Like at least 30% of people I have seen before I know. It's in such a small village, like we say hello to each other, and in Zurich, in the bigger cities, it's more unpersonal and
like in every big city.
yeah.
But also it's kind of nice to see how people are really truly behaving, because in the cities it's not the real material, real sample of people how they are truly, and
It's not really community, it's everybody lives for themselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
And here you kind of have to, and it's like in a mountainous area, so when there is big storm you have to stick together, right? I know
But
it's
buildings are all pretty well done.
yeah,
so
they have
will
to be
keep
well done
standing.
because of the hardcore winters, right?
Yeah.
Or rains and so on. So,
Yeah.
but they have it really well thought through, because if you think 10 times in Switzerland, then you don't have to 20 times rebuild your house, right? Because you forgot something and so on. So they have to really plan these things, because the area which they are living in is not very fun to, you know, forget some isolation or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
So today we were chatting a little bit about grocery stores in Switzerland, and tomorrow we will go to a really cool exhibition in St. Gallen. It's called Olma, which is originally was made for the farmers, where they expose, where they have an exposition of their cows, which others then can buy, or pigs
I will
and
not
so on.
buy, but I'll just look and pat.
And now they have their exhibition of each possible company that there is in Switzerland. They're exposing their products and so on. And we'll go there tomorrow.
And there will be also a little pig race.
Pig
so
race,
we
yeah.
hope we'll be
We'll
so
have a good
lucky
spot to see it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we did a little different video. Sometimes cool to make just these videos where we have a chat with you. If you enjoy it, please let us know in the comments, because then we know if we should do this more often, or if you like more when we have some specific message and some spiritual topic,
And some serious stuff.
some serious stuff, important stuff.
No.
But it's sometimes also just cool to hang out. So thank you so much for sharing your time with us.
Yeah.
Check out the Petra and Raphael store with our really cool shirts and sweaters that have positive messages on them that say thank you. And can you see it?
I love you. Yes, he sees it. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So you
Okay.
can have a little gift for your body, appreciating it, and also the people around you that will see you will also see this
You should
positive
wear it to the
message.
store today.
Yeah.
But you didn't.
Tomorrow.
You okay.
I was having only a
He will
t-shirt
test
today.
it in a Swiss little village store, and he will see the reactions tomorrow.
See you next time.